Good morning, students. I hope you are well. Today's lesson is quite a simple one actually. It's on guidance. Now there are 4 types of guidance that you need to know, that you need to apply, and that you need to critically evaluate. Remember, if you want to access the lower grade, you just got to tell me what. If you want to access the middle grades, you want to tell me how. And if you want to access the higher grades, you can tell me why, the critical evaluation. It's pretty easy in this one. First of all, let me contextualise. The exam board that is, won't always just ask you questions about guidance in isolation. They'll want to link it to the stages of learning. So remember the 3 stages of learning. We have cognitive, associative and autonomous. Remember that cognitive learners are beginners. Associative learners have started to experience the skills. They know what they need to do to get to a better level, and they're starting to get there. And then we have autonomous, which are the elite performers. They're consistently effective at their skill. So let's go to our forms of guidance. First form of guidance is going to be verbal guidance, or tell them. So that goes from a very simple level at grassroots, a coach telling a junior football team what he wants them to do, all the way through to Pep Guardiola telling his Manchester City players at an elite level what he expects of them, what he wants them to do. Now here we go for the kind of the critical evaluation. The exam board will want to know what stage of learning verbal guidance is particularly appropriate to. And it is the associative and the autonomous learners. Yes, beginners do need that verbal guidance, but in your exam, go for more associative and autonomous. Okay? Because for beginners, for cognitive learners, visual guidance is the most important at that early age. You give them a picture, you show them. Alright, so here we go. We've got a simple demonstration for beginners. This chap is showing a group of players how to change direction quickly when dribbling a football. This technology here at an autonomous stage is overlay software. So this hockey player is doing a penalty hit. And this is his performance at the different stages. Now what he can do, he can overlay the perfect technical model over what he's doing. He can see if he's too high at certain stages, too low. He can see if his backswing is too long, if his follow through isn't long enough. You particularly use this in golf, where you would overlay your swing against the perfect technical model, and you can see your plane and axis of movement, your backswing, your follow through, your contact point, all against the perfect model. You can compare the two and then make those minor adjustments that you need to be consistently effective at that elite level. Okay, so visual guidance is important for all 3 stages of learning. If you're asked in an exam to give examples, then just try to remember these simple examples. Okay, so the 3rd type of guidance is manual guidance, or actually move them. You have to be careful with that nowadays. You have to get permissions because you are touching somebody. But you do actually move their body into position. Particularly important for cognitive learners. So in your exam, if it asks you what type of guidance is important for cognitive learners, then I would go to manual. It is used at an elite level. This is an Olympic gymnast, and the coach will help her very slightly, but it is more important for cognitive learners. Move them into position. Help them to establish that muscle memory, that joint memory. And lastly, we have mechanical guidance. So we use some form of physical aid to help them improve their skill. So again, really important for cognitive learners, but associative and autonomous would use these aids as well. But your exam board likes it, cognitive learners, mechanical guidance. Why? Because it helps them feel safe. If they feel safe, they're more motivated to try. So this simple float, a cheap and easy float in swimming, is something that's going to help this youngster get into the water and try and improve his skills. At an elite level is something like developing from a basic jumps to somersaults. So this trampolinist is using a harness to help her perform a front tuck somersault. So again, it's used at all stages, but go, if your exam board asks you, go mostly important for cognitive learners. Justify, give examples. Okay, today's lesson was a pretty easy, short one. What I'd like my GCSE group to do now, please, is because there's pictures here, you might not want to copy this into your book unless you want to print your own pictures off. You might just want to print off the attachment that I've put on Show My Homework and stick it into your books. That's an easier thing to do for this lesson. When you've done that, please, can you test yourself, revise, look over the notes, close your eyes, read it, try and remember it, then test yourself, get your parents to test you. Alright? Take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.